What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the UFC show. Woo! What a week last week, right? Crazy, crazy. For a card that we were not that excited about, to go 5-0 was freaking spectacular. Um, Never done it. I think I've got a 4-1. I think I've got a 4-1 card out there, couple 3-2s, but to go 5-0 was something freaking spectacular. Um, yeah, enough about that. It was pretty crazy. Um, but lots of. This card doesn't promise to be much either, but it could be another card where we go 5-0 on. Um, the crazy thing about this card coming up, and we'll get to that here in a second, is just so many fights have been, there's been a few fights that have been dropped because of various reasons. We got fighters coming off of layoffs. There's gonna be some. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of knockouts on this card, like the very beginning of this card was. Um, but we celebrate in style. We celebrate with the drink crafted by the gods themselves. I said I got 48 packets of it. We're down about 4 of them now. So we're down to about 44 packets. I don't know if I can survive. Please send more blue raspberry lemonade Kool-Aid. Care of Hashmark. Just start sending them to me, Um, but we hydrate in our glitch container. Um, Shout out to our other sponsor, Jolly Mac Coffee, making delicious coffee. But we gotta take this hydration. We gotta take it straight to the dome. Woo! Let's get into the review here. So some of the stuff I missed. Some of this, just doing other things, watching TV and watching. I had to watch this on my phone, because my wife was always watching something else. So, I usually watch these cards on my phone on my Z Fold 3, baby. Shout out to Samsung. But yeah, we watched it on that. Made a couple live bets while we are doing so. Kind of I wanted to get in on this fight, on the first fight, and bet for Kevin Kroom, but what's crazy is sometimes the gambling gods are just they prevent you from doing stuff. They prevented us from betting on Kevin Kroom, who got knocked the fuck out by Alatangley 47 seconds into the fight. So there's that. And then we go into another thing about this fight card. We need to talk about this. UFC has got to get better about illegal strikes and disqualification, because it happened twice in this fight, or not on this card. It was just ridiculous. Get better, UFC. Get better. So we have Sam Hughes beating Estela Nunez. Pretty crazy, because I think Hughes was the underdog on this fight. So yeah, she won by a majority decision there. just I think it was she kind of whooped on her the whole time. So um, then after that we had the first fight that we had as our on our card. Our official card was Jordan Levitt versus Trey Ogden. Um, you know, it was a split decision, but in my opinion, it was not a split decision. Jordan Levitt controlled this fight from the get go. I don't see how they put Ogden. Any judge picked Ogden. Pretty clear to me that Levitt won this fight. But it was a split decision. Levitt won. Next we had Chris Barnett versus Martin Boudet, and this fight was, man, I really like Chris Barnett. He's he's a taekwondo guy. He's a big guy. He likes to dance. He's got lots of character. Reminds me of Tai Tuivasa. He's gonna be one of those characters that the UFC loves to keep in the cards and active and fighting. This fight, Barnett kind of it wasn't going for him. The third round comes and there's an illegal strike. It was to the back of the head. The referee calls, he stops the fight. The doctor looks at Barnett, decides Barnett cannot continue. Barnett wants to fight because guess what? They're making the decision to go to the scorecards instead of automatically disqualifying Boudet. It was an accidental strike, they say. But what is accidental and what is, legal? Are we saying that Jan's strike was intentional? We need something clear cut. It shouldn't be left to the judges. You illegally strike someone, accident or no accident, it needs to be one decision. Because guess what? If you're up 2 rounds and you're fighting someone and why not just illegally strike them in the head in the fight and go to the judge's scorecard right there? That was one of the points that's not my point. That was a very good point brought up by the announcers. I'm not going to take credit for it, but I want to bring it up because it is a valid point. If you're up two rounds, why not do that? Because it's going to go to the scorecards. You leave the chance of getting being knocked out or submitted taken out right there. You don't have to worry about it. Go straight to the judges' scorecards. There needs to be a clear cut, whether accidental or intentionally. A illegal strike should just be an illegal strike, and disqualification or whatever you're gonna do, pick something. So they stop it and they went, and Boudet won by going to the judges' scorecard. He was kicking Barnett's ass, so. But I hope to see Barnett back soon. Barnett's a great character for the UFC, and I think he's gonna be back. I don't know if he'll be a top 15 guy or what they'll do with him, but they'll have him in there doing something. I think he's a cool enough guy. I think he might just need more time. Have him fight someone. I don't know who would put him up against. Not probably a top 15 guy, but you put him in there somewhere with somebody. Get him another win. The people will want to watch him. He's a character. He's a good for the fans. Next we had Arafa Garcia versus Jesse Ronson. Now this was a good fight because Garcia, he really got in there and was throwing some combinations in on Ronson. Um he was getting in there and just boom. He'd get in there and make him count. He was a shorter fighter. Just kind of got in there and made everything he did count. Like just boom, 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 boom. Just um, he had the perfect game plan for Ronson. Ronson had been out for a little bit, I think. But he came in there and then he got the finish. He got he had a I think it was a rear naked choke on him. Let me see here. 100% sure. We'll go to Sherdog. Not a advertisement for Sherdog, but they are a great source for finding out correct decisions and stuff. It was a rear naked choke. Yep, and it was kind of toward the end of that round, of the second round. But he got it in. I was surprised, and that led me to be 2-0 on the night. I was so excited. I was starting out 2-0. It was great. I was like, surely Drakkar Close should get win. I'll be at worst 3-2. Then what else? Who else do I have in there? Fialo. Fialo was up in the air for me. So I was like, surely Drakkar will get me a 3-0 for the night, and so yeah, and then so Drakkar's match was next after Rafa got the submission, the rear naked choke. Drakkar Close came in and just put on a show. He put it to Jenkins, just kind of like backing him up, and just had throwing solid combinations, and it looked really good for Drakkar. I was glad to see it, because he's a guy that, you can tell he's a guy that is well rounded. So we need more guys that are well rounded, especially at lightweight. Lightweight's probably one of the best divisions in all of UFC. It's like that run of 135 to 155 are some of the best fighters in the UFC. I do like middleweight for some reason. Middleweight's one of my favorites. And I always love watching heavyweights because I'm a heavyweight dude. But I like those heavyweights that can grapple and do all that shit, not just knock each other out. But I'm talking grappling. I'm talking grappling. I'm not talking fucking takedown and hold down. That is the dumbest bullshit I've ever seen. And I will say that till I'm blue in the face. It's the dumbest shit ever. You fucking take someone down, lay on them and you're not trying to advance position, or you're acting like you're advancing position. No one. We want to see some punches. We want to see some submission attempts. We want to see it all. Next was Pani Kinziod versus Lena Landsberg. Ended up being a unanimous decision there. I did not watch much of that fight. I did watch the Devin Clark versus William Knight. Man, Devin Knight. Or not Devin Knight. I almost said Devin Knight. William Knight. I think Devin Knight's a basketball player, right? William Knight is a guy that fights at light heavyweight that probably needs to fight at heavyweight. Dude was stacked at heavyweight. He was weighing in at heavyweight and just ripped Didn't matter though. Devin Clark comes in and knocks him the fuck out in the third round. Um, I, William Knight showed some flashes here and there, but I'm just not. I'm not sure he's ready to be a UFC heavyweight yet, or in the UFC. He's got a couple wins in the UFC. He's got a couple of fights in the UFC, but he's lost some fights that he probably should have won. I think he's got like 2 wins in the UFC. One of those 2 wins is against a guy who's no longer in the UFC, Fabio Charant. But I think there's potential with William Knight. He just needs more time, more training. He should be a heavyweight, in my opinion. I think he can make some noise at heavyweight. He just has to get there. Sorry, I'm yawning. This week's been crazy. So I came on to the main card. I did not catch the Munir Laziz fight, but he ended up winning by unanimous decision. Sabatini was another guy that I wanted to bet on, but missed my chance for whatever reason on Caesars. So I actually was going to bet Sabatini to finish this fight, but he did not. He won by unanimous decision. Next, we had Myra Buno Silva versus Wu Yanan. That was a unanimous decision, mostly standing. Just not a fight that I was interested in. It was fight of the night. I mean, it was. I don't remember much of the fight. The Miguel Beza versus Andre Fialo, though, this one was a banger because we got to see Fialo do what we know he can do, and that is put you to fucking sleep with his hands. Beza caught him, or Beza caught those hands, and he took a nap on the canvas. Fialo just he looks like I don't know how to describe. He looks like he's got a very child baby face. Beza was probably feeling bad if he punched him, so. But no, Fialo knocked him the fuck out first round. I don't know what else to say about that fight. Then Xiao Borrallo he was the underdog here. He was a slight underdog. Ended up pulling the win off against Godzi. But we already got a Dagestani guy at middleweight. I can't remember his name, but I know we got one. Let me see here. Let me see, where's he at? I'm Evolve. Yeah, that dude's tough. And then at middleweight, we obviously got Anklev. So, there's one about every weight that is just killing it. Pretty much every weight. We got Hamza at welterweight. We got, Islam at lightweight. Featherweight. Where's the guy I just saw? Ortega. Oh, Sadiq? Is it Sadiq's? Is he out of that? I don't think. No, Sadiq's not out of. I don't think Giga is either. I'm not sure. Maybe featherweight doesn't, but bantamweight has don't they have like a Nurmagomedov that's at bantamweight? Am I thinking of flyweight? No, I don't even know about flyweight. But yeah, they've got him at pretty much every weight. The Dagestani takeover, baby. I told you about it. You heard it here. You heard it there. You've heard it everywhere. But next we have, the main event. That was where I picked Belal Muhammad as an underdog to beat Vicente Luque. Listen, Belal Muhammad stood in the pocket, took some punches, and landed takedowns. Sometimes Vicente got up from those takedowns rather quickly, but for the most part, Belal did what he needed to do each round to win. Maybe gave up one round. I think one judge had it 2 or 3 rounds for Muhammad, 2 for Luque, but the other 2 judges had it 4 rounds for Muhammad, and only losing 1 round. I really don't know which round maybe he lost. Maybe the second round. I'm not sure. But we went 5-0 in that fight card. First time ever. Felt great. Hoping that, we can go 5-0 on this card. For this fight card, just so much is... there's another fight on here that I can't remember. There was another fight that we needed to talk about where there was a I can't remember what the other fight. Was it the Omar fight where there was a foul involved? I can't remember. I said I was going to talk about that. I can't remember who the other one was. I don't know. There was another foul. I think it was maybe the co-main where that happened. I'm not sure. Yeah, because these other all the ones are KOs. Yeah, it had to have been the main event. I can't remember that fight though. I think I was not paying attention. I wasn't watching that fight. Sometimes I drift in and out of watching the fights. So I'll go do something and then come back and watch the fights, and so I mean I'm not trying to be a fair weather fan, but some of this card just didn't get me. I was not excited for a lot of it, except for kind of the fights that I had money on. So we go on to the next card. There's been some fights that have been canceled, some that have been some that have been canceled, and some that have been have new opponents. So I don't know. So I've got 5. These are my 5 picks for this card. I'm not going to break down every fight on this card. Some of these guys I don't know about. Some of these guys I had to do some research on. Some of these fights. So the first fight that we have is going to be should be the first fight of the night. Dean Barry versus Mike Jackson. So the main point I want to bring here is Mike Jackson is not UFC material. He's not even really an MMA fighter. He's kind of does some journalism, maybe a podcast. I know he's not mainly a UFC fighter. He's fought CM Punk to a very close fight. Now is CM Punk a UFC caliber guy? No. Where is his? Phil Brooks. He beat him. It was a no contest because he got he ended up getting testing positive for drugs. Lost to Mickey Gall. Says he's 0-1. He's just not. I mean, he's not a UFC guy. He's 37 too. Sorry, I keep yawning. I hate that. This Dean Barry, he's a very solid prospect. Says he's 4-1. He's fought a lot on the local scene. He could have fought earlier, I guess, and they had a hard time finding someone for him to fight, so he fought a local show in December. So he's staying active. Dean Barry is a minus 1,100 favorite. So minus 1,100 is not something you want to bet on, because you'd have to bet $1,100 to win $100. $11 to win $1. I don't know. Scale it to however you want for your units. So yeah, the alternative is, I think Dean Barry's gonna just come out here and just beat the living shit out of Mike Jackson. I don't think Mike Jackson's gonna surprise us at all here. There is a better line to this fight. You can do Dean Barry by finish, which would be Dean Barry by KO, TKO, DQ, submission. Or if your book has something else, it might be something like Dean Barry to finish inside the distance. That's what you would want to go with on that. It's going to be around minus 200. That's what is on Caesars for the KO, TKO, DQ sub pick. So that's what you want to go with this one. I just don't think that Mike Jackson's yeah. You go back and you watch that fight with him and CM Punk, and it's just like, give me back that time in my life that I took to watch that. Next, we have Jordan Wright. These are going to be kind of out of order too, because I had a hard time picking 5 fights for this one. So I kind of went and I read some stuff, listened to some stuff, just kind of to gather what the consensus was and then what I thought. So Jordan Wright versus Marc-Andre Barriault. This one's kind of a one that is tricky too. Jordan Wright, he's a big he's got heavy hands. He starts fast and then kind of slows down as the fight goes. On the other hand, Barriault's coming off of a knockout loss from 2 months ago. So lots of questions to answer or to ask. Is Barriault, is he still shaky from that loss, that knockout loss? He lost to Chidi Chukane in February. A UFC fight night, Hermanson versus Strickland. Yeah, in the first round. Wow. So, is he still a little shaky from that? If he's not, can he weather the storm of Jordan Wright and eventually drag him into the second and third round and get a decision? It's really the question to ask. I personally think Jordan Wright is going to knock out Barriault. coming off a knockout, it's just and especially coming back 2 months after that. I just think that I don't think the chin's gonna be as strong. He's gonna catch one from Wright, and it's just gonna crumple him like paper. I have Wright money line plus 170. Alternately, though, you can get even more value because Wright's the underdog here. Alternately, you could go with Wright by finish. So TKO, KO, DQ, sub, Wright to finish inside the distance, whatever. It's going to be plus 230 or around there. I don't know what book you use, so that's one of the things you just kind of got to know. Next, I have another fight that I'm kind of iffy about. It's in light heavyweight. You got Felipe Lins versus Marcin Prochnio. I have to look up the odds because I didn't write that down on my little I didn't write it down on my little breakdown here. Man, I can't believe Rose Namajunas is going to be fighting here in a few weeks. One of my all-time favorites. Big fan of Rose, and if you guys haven't checked it out, check out my TikTok at ODB Gaming. We got a shout out from Thug Rose from our good friend Ricky Knotz. He lives out there in Denver. Knows Rose and Pat. Got her to give us a shout out. Hashmark Network, our Hashmark Sports, shouted me out too. It was awesome. It was cool, really cool. So we wanted to get her in for an interview, but just because our platform, Hashmark Sports, has to do with gambling, she unfortunately did not want to do an interview with us. I understand that I am small time podcaster right now too, but it would have been great. But things happen. We'll get big enough. We'll have bigger guests on my interview podcast. It's gonna take time. You can't build something overnight. It doesn't happen for most of us. It's gonna take probably a good 2 or 3 years before I build any sort of fan base. It's part of doing something. You can't expect to be overnight success. If I keep stringing together 5-0 nights, probably could do that, but you never know. All right, I'm looking up Felipe Lins and Prochnio. So this is kind of a toss-up fight. Prochnio is he was a really big prospect they wanted to bring in. Then Felipe Lins, he's a guy that's fought at heavyweight, and he's coming down to light heavyweight. Now this is a good one because stylistically they're gonna both be strikers. The thing that I like, though, I'm gonna pick Felipe Lins. He's a slight underdog, plus 110. I like Felipe Lins because he's coming down from heavyweight. He had heavy hands at heavyweight. So coming down to light heavyweight and still having those hands, I think that gives him a slight advantage. Not too much. I mean, it's light heavyweight. It's almost about like heavyweight. Light heavyweight is like a more. It's gonna sound stupid, but it's an athletic heavyweight. So it's like they're heavy guys. Yes, there are knockouts in this division. Yes, any punch at light heavyweight could could change the fight. But you see a lot more guys that are good grapplers and, people that can do submissions and just, they're not one dimensional knockout guys, like you can see dominate at heavyweight, a la Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is a knockout artist, not much to him besides that, but he didn't need to do much. He was great at knockouts. He caught people, did his thing, got his shot at the heavyweight title, won him. I think he won lots of fights. He got a fight for a title. He got to fight in his hometown a couple times. He's done great for himself. So, you don't see a lot of heavyweights doing the stuff that light heavyweight can do. It's just it's that more athletic division. There needs to be something in between light heavyweight and heavyweight, though. I don't know what you would call it. Maybe change light heavyweight to cruiser and then just make light heavyweight like 225 or 235. 225 would be good. 225. But that's a whole different body style. 225, some people are just they're really big at 225 and cutting down to 205 sucks, and they're not big enough to fight heavyweight. That needs to be a division in itself. I don't know. Come on, UFC. Do, and also while you're at it, make a 165 weight class. And do something about these damn illegal strikes. All right, and then for my fourth fight tonight, Saturday night, I have Clay Guida versus Claudio Plellis. Listen, Clay Guida is a guy that you always think is, okay, he's 40. When's he gonna stop winning and show his age? Never. The answer is never. He's got cardio. He's got wrestling. He can strike. He never quits. He has a gas tank like no other. You hit him and you damn near knock him out, and then he fucking swings his head and fucking dances around for like 15 seconds, and then he's fucking back. I've seen him do it. He's phenomenal. You don't see guys at 40 doing it like he does. I'll see. I want to see if he lost to Mark Madsen, which I don't. It was a split decision. Who did he lose to that I thought was a close fight, or he beat someone that was a close fight? Was it Santos? Yeah, he got Santos got tired. That's what happened. Yeah, it was in December. Santos got tired on him. Yeah, he damn near had Guida knocked out, and then boom, Guida just caught that second wind. Like I need to right now. We caught that second wind and just Guida put it on, and then he got the rear naked choke. He got that. He used a lot of wrestling against him too. I mean, Claudio's got some quality wins. He beat Jordan Levitt. Jordan Levitt's a good fighter. We've seen him do very well last card, But no. The pick here is I'm going with with Clay Guido or Clay Guido, Clay Guida at minus the money line minus 105. Felipe Lins, we were going money line on him as well. What was his? Felipe is plus 110. Clay Guida is minus 105. Those two picks are pretty solid, both pretty good lines. What's crazy is Guida could end up being like plus 100 around the time the fights come out, because we got a lot of people that are jumping on Claudio's bandwagon, and I'm just not one of them, because last time I doubted Clay Guida, it didn't go well, and I don't think Claudio's fought anybody amazing, so give him a toss up. Why not? Then finally, I'm gonna bet on the main event. Jessica Andrade versus Amanda Limos. And I'm just gonna say it right now. Limos does not have the resume that Andrade has. Andrade has fought the who's who of women's MMA. Let me see. Come on now. All right. So she's fought Tisha Torres, beat Tisha Torres. Tisha Torres just fought. And I think she lost. She's fought Claudia Gadalajea. She's fought Joanne. Can't say her name. She's beat Angela Hill, who Limos should have lost to. She's fought Jessica Penne. She's fought Raquel Pennington. Liz Carmouche lost to Carmouche. Jennifer Maya. She's kind of fought everywhere. She's beat, Penne. She's beat Joanne Wood, Angela Hill, Joanna, Tisha Torres. She beat Rose Namajunas, knocked her out with a KO slam. She lost to Zhang, lost to Rose Namajunas. Beat Caitlin Chukagian, who was a very good fight. Who's a very solid fighter. Chukagian has the most basic white, I was say basic white girl name. A blonde fighter is her nickname. Then she lost to Valentina Shevchenko. So she's fought the who's who. She's fought the best fighters. Limos has not fought anybody that is besides Angela Hill, who Angela Hill, if I'm thinking right, is not. She's like a barely 500 fighter. Yeah, she's 13-11. You're telling me that you lost a split decision. Granted, Hill is a tough ass fighter. Her losses are all decisions, mostly. Decision loss, decision win, decision split decision. See, it was a split decision against Michelle Watterson. We're talking about Angela Hill. She lost the decision to Tisha Torres. Angela Hill, she lost a split decision to Amanda Limos. Tisha Torres beat Ashley Yoder, whoever that is. Split decision against Watterson. Split decision against Claudia Gadalajea. She's fighting. Hill's fought some tough ass women. She lost to Andrade, which we just talked about, but and she lost to Rose Namajunas too. With Angela Hill. But she's very tough. but she's barely over 500. Limos has not done anything to warrant me wanting to pick her. Andrade is a minus 190 favorite. I I will pick that. I'm gonna go because I just don't think that Andrade is gonna finish her because it's women's fights. They're not easily. A lot of them go to decision. They're not boring fights. So they're. I think they match all. Most women match up well against each other in a fight, especially if at this level. So, um, I have Andrade at minus 190 for the money line. So those are my picks for this week. Hoping that we go 5-0 again. It's another fight card that I'm not really excited for. There's a lot of people coming off layoffs. A lot of people probably a lot of knockouts are gonna happen. Maybe some submissions. People are gonna gas out or have some ring rust, cage rust. I don't know, octagon rust, whatever you want to call it. But I'm hoping they put together a better card here soon. Because this is a lot of just thrown together shit, it looks like. But anyways, until next time, guys, I'll see you hopefully with a 5-0 record again next week. All right. Peace.